Dear learners, welcome back to the Just Learn English podcast, the place where we share clear, practical English lessons, real conversations, and useful strategies that actually help you improve. If this is your first time here, I'm Shaylin, and I'm here to guide you and help you build English into your everyday life, step by step. Today's topic is something every learner needs to hear. It's not just important, it's essential for anyone serious about making progress in English. We're going to talk about exactly how you can practice English every single day, even if you feel busy, tired, stuck, or unsure where to begin. No matter what level you're at, this episode is for you. Let's get straight into it.
Before we start, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you find the episode helpful at any point. And please tell me in the comments from where you are joining. I really love hearing from you all. Now, let's get back to the topic. To understand how we can practice English every single day, we should first understand what things are stopping you from practicing it daily. Many English learners say, "I am not able to speak fluent English because I don't live in an English-speaking country. I can't shift to the UK, USA, or other English-speaking countries." But is this really the solution? No, you don't need to be born in or shift to an English-speaking country to learn English or any other language. What you really need is the right mindset and the ability to surround yourself with the right resources that will help you learn English. You don't need too many resources, just a few good ones. And then you must follow those regularly with dedication. I have seen many students from Vietnam, Indonesia, India, and many other countries who, even without living in English-speaking countries, speak quite good English. It's not about location. It's about your approach and your habits. Now, let's move to another common struggle. Many English learners say, "I don't have time to practice English every day." They feel their schedule is too full with work, studies, or family responsibilities. But here's the truth. This isn't just about time. Everyone has busy lives. What really matters is how you use the small moments throughout the day. Even 5 or 10 minutes of English practice daily can bring slow but steady progress. Time itself is not always the real problem. It's how we manage and prioritize it. Now, let's talk about another common struggle. Many learners feel afraid of making mistakes when they speak English. They fear that others will laugh at them or judge them for saying something wrong. This fear stops many learners from even trying to speak. But the reality is, nobody learns a language without making mistakes. Mistakes are normal and necessary part of learning any new skill. The more you speak, the more comfortable you become, and slowly, those mistakes will decrease over time. Avoiding mistakes only slows down your learning. One more very common struggle that many learners experience. Some learners say, "I have tried learning English for years, but I still don't see much improvement." They feel stuck and think that their efforts are useless. This happens when learners expect fast progress. They study for some weeks or months and expect big results right away. But English learning is not like that. It's a slow process that builds gradually. Some progress happens silently, without you noticing it immediately. But with time, you will see the results if you stay consistent and patient. These are the 4 most common struggles that many English learners face: thinking they must live in an English-speaking country, believing they don't have time, fearing making mistakes, and feeling stuck due to slow progress.
Now let's understand why we should practice English every single day, and what really happens if we don't. When you practice English every day, something very powerful happens in your brain. Your mind slowly becomes more familiar with the sounds, words, and sentence patterns of English. It's almost like your brain is tuning itself to the language. And this is very important because with daily practice, you don't have to force yourself to remember words or phrases. They start to appear naturally in your mind because you've been hearing or using them again and again. This creates a strong memory connection. Just like we don't have to think hard when speaking our native language, the same thing slowly happens with English, but only if we stay connected to it daily. Daily practice also helps you stay in flow. Learning English is very similar to physical exercise. If you exercise regularly, your body feels active, flexible, and strong. But when you stop exercising for a long time, your body becomes stiff, and every movement feels difficult again. It's the same with English. Even just 10 minutes of practice every day keeps your mind active in the language. You may not notice instant results, but this quiet, regular connection builds fluency step by step. You start to speak more naturally, and you feel less afraid of making mistakes because English becomes familiar, not something foreign or scary. Another very important reason for daily practice is the growth of your confidence. Many English learners struggle not because they lack knowledge, but because they lack confidence. They know words, they know grammar, they have studied for months or even years, but they still feel nervous while speaking. This usually happens when they don't practice often. When you add English into your daily life, even in small ways, you remove that pressure. It stops being a stressful subject, and instead it becomes a normal part of your day. You stop worrying about speaking perfectly and start enjoying the process of learning. Your confidence grows naturally because you are not waiting for a special moment to speak. You are already practicing every day, even in small ways. Now, let's think about what happens when we don't practice regularly. This is something many learners experience without even realizing it. When you stop using English daily, your brain slowly disconnects from the language. The words and phrases that once felt easy begin to feel difficult again. You start to forget even simple words because your brain hasn't seen or heard them for many days. This is not about your intelligence. It's simply how our brain works. If we don't use something, we start to lose it. Another problem is that your speaking speed and fluency drop. Many learners notice that after a break from English, they suddenly speak slower and their sentences become less smooth. This happens because speaking a language is like using a muscle. If we stop using it, it becomes weaker and everything feels harder. You may start thinking too much before speaking, and conversations feel more stressful again. There is also something else that happens, which many people don't talk about, but it's very common. When you stop practicing regularly, your confidence slowly fades away. Even if you were speaking English well before, the longer you stay away from it, the more nervous you feel about using it again. You may start thinking thoughts like, "What if I've forgotten everything?" Or, "What if I make too many mistakes now?" This fear grows silently, and after some time, restarting feels even harder than before. It creates a cycle. First, you stop practicing, then your skills weaken, and then your confidence drops. And the more you delay, the harder it feels to begin again. This is why daily practice matters so much. Not just for learning new words or improving grammar, but for keeping your connection to English alive. It protects your progress, keeps your mind open to the language, and makes speaking feel natural and enjoyable over time. Even small, simple daily steps are far more powerful than long study sessions that happen only once in a while. Daily practice creates a strong habit, keeps your skills active, and slowly shapes you into a more confident English speaker without stress or pressure.
Now that we clearly understand why we should practice English every single day, let's now go to the core of today's topic, how to actually do it. How to practice English every single day, even if you are busy. I am going to share 4 very practical and simple tips with you. These are tips you can start using right away, and they will help you build English into your daily life naturally, without stress. Let's start with the first one. Blending English naturally into your daily routine. Many people think they need to set aside a big block of time to study English, but actually, English can be blended into your daily life in very simple ways. For example, you can change your phone settings to English. You can also follow English language accounts on social media. You can listen to English podcasts while cooking, walking, or even during your commute. And here's something very effective. Try to describe your surroundings in English. Wherever you are right now, just look around. Ask yourself in English, what am I seeing? Describe it in your own words. For example, you can say, I see a chair. There is a table. I am drinking tea.
The window is open. Simple sentences like these are very powerful. You can also describe what is happening around you. For example, the fan is moving slowly. People are talking outside. I hear birds singing. If you don't know a word, simply search for it right away. This habit will help you naturally connect English to your daily environment. It makes English more real for you because you are not just learning from a book, you are using English to describe your real life. This is one of the most powerful ways to practice without pressure. You are not sitting at a desk studying, you are simply noticing the world around you and describing it in English, in your own words. And slowly, your thinking will start to happen in English naturally. The goal here is not to sit and study with pressure. It's simply to surround yourself with English, so your brain stays connected to it throughout the day. This way, you're not forcing English. You are making it a natural part of your daily life. It becomes something you hear, see, and think about regularly without needing extra time. And now, we also have more simple tools that make this even easier. We live in a time where technology can support us in amazing ways. There are now many free or easy-to-access tools that can help you practice English more effectively. You can use AI chat apps or English-speaking bots to have simple text conversations in English. This allows you to practice forming sentences without any fear of being judged. You can also use AI to help you correct your writing, check your pronunciation, or even suggest better ways to say things. Some apps allow you to speak aloud, and they can correct your speech immediately. Like ChatGPT, offer free 10-minute audio conversation time. Some even allow 10 minutes of speaking practice for free. You can use that time to practice speaking English out loud, and it can really help you build confidence. You don't need to wait for a real person to talk to. You can simply speak to the AI, and it will respond to you naturally in English. This can be a very comfortable way to practice, especially if you feel shy speaking with others at first. It's another easy way to blend English into your day. No pressure, no stress, just natural speaking practice in small pockets of time. This is a great option for people who don't have speaking partners around them. AI can also help you build your vocabulary by suggesting useful words based on what you already know. The best part is, you can use these tools anytime, anywhere. You don't need to wait for a class or a partner. You can practice in the morning, during lunch, or at night, whenever it suits you. Now, let's talk about the third tip, creating a personal daily English routine. Everyone has different schedules, but what matters is creating a small, personal English habit every day. It doesn't need to be complicated. Start with just 5 minutes a day and focus on one small activity that feels enjoyable for you. For example, you can decide that every morning you will listen to a short English podcast for 5 minutes. Or you can write 3 simple English sentences in a journal at night. Some people prefer reading an English article or watching a short English video during their tea break. The activity doesn't matter as much as the habit itself. The key is to keep it personal, enjoyable, and realistic for your life. Once it becomes a regular part of your day, it gets easier to continue. You no longer have to push yourself because it simply becomes part of what you do, just like brushing your teeth or having breakfast. Now, let's go to the fourth and final tip: habit stacking with a progress chart. This is a very effective method for building daily English practice. Habit stacking means you attach your English practice to something you already do every day. For example, you can decide that right after your morning coffee, you will practice English for 5 minutes. Or after your evening walk, you'll review some English phrases. By connecting your English habit to an existing habit, it becomes easier to remember and follow. You don't have to think too much about when to practice. It happens naturally, right after something else you always do. And along with habit stacking, using a simple progress chart can motivate you even more. You can create a small chart where you mark every day you practice English. Each time you complete your practice, you tick a box or color a small square. Seeing your daily progress in front of you can be very motivating. It shows you that even small efforts done every day can grow into something meaningful over time. It's not about perfection. It's about showing up day after day and watching your progress slowly build. These 4 simple tips, blending English naturally into your life, using AI tools for practice, creating a personal daily English routine, and using habit stacking with a progress chart are all practical ways to practice English every single day, even with a busy life. You don't need big changes or long hours. Small, consistent actions done daily can lead to strong, lasting progress.
Before we close this episode, there is one very important thing I want to tell you at this point. Everything we discussed today, all these plans and tips, they will only work when you actually implement them properly. No method will work by itself. Learning a language is not something that happens overnight. It's a slow, steady, and long process. And during this process, there will be times when you feel tired or unmotivated. Sometimes you may feel like taking a break for a day or two. And when that happens, please don't start thinking, "Oh no, now I will never become fluent just because I missed a day." Don't think this way. Your body and mind are not machines. We all need rest from time to time. In fact, after you have been practicing consistently for 5 or 6 days in a row, you actually deserve a short break. Taking a break doesn't mean you are being lazy. It doesn't mean you are failing. It simply means you are listening to your body and allowing yourself to recharge. Sometimes, a little rest is exactly what we need to return stronger. So please don't create pressure on yourself by thinking, "I must practice every single day without fail." Yes, daily practice is important, but not at the cost of your peace of mind or health. If one day you are too tired, it's okay to take a break. Rest well, re-energize,
and then come back to your learning the next day with fresh energy and a clear mind. Remember, this is a long journey. Your focus should be on steady progress, not on perfection. Being kind to yourself is also part of learning. If you are still listening till this point, you should really pat yourself on the back. It shows that you are serious about learning English and you are truly putting in the effort to improve. Keep up this wonderful spirit. If you stay consistent, you will soon speak English more confidently and naturally. And remember, I am always here to help you on this journey. Don't forget to share your thoughts about this episode in the comments. I always love hearing from you. I will be back with a new episode very soon. Till then, keep practicing, keep learning, and most importantly, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.